I come from ancient times. Hi there. I just wanted to show you how I'm getting my Omnichord to talk to my OP1. This is an Omnichord from the 80s. This is just an external battery that I have powering this MIDI USB host. And this is the OP1 by Teenage Engineering. It's a synthesizer and a sequencer and a little mini tape recorder, a radio, just a little mini music workstation. The Omnichord was, there are a lot of different models, but this was manufactured through the 80s and into the 90s. And they have one now that they're making called a Q-Chord, but it's different. This one has MIDI capabilities. They didn't all have that. And I need to use this because otherwise this talks through an old MIDI DIN cable, the old style, and the OP1 only deals with MIDI through MIDI USB. So if and it's through this little mini USB jack. So if I wasn't using this box, I would have to use a laptop. A lot of fun to play on the Omnichord. You can trigger lots of different synthesizers with the Omnichord and sound modules and whatever you want. Like I have a Waldorf Blofeld that has the right kind of jacks that I can just plug the Omnichord directly into it and play it. I come from ancient times. I started playing electronic instruments in the 1980s when MIDI first was invented. I had the good fortune of having a bandmate, a boyfriend with a bandmate who owned an Omnichord in about 83 or 84. And they would have band practice, and I would sit in the other room with an Omnichord and just play it and play it and play it. And the built-in sounds are really nice, actually, surprisingly cool and usable. Let's see. Yeah, so that's just one of the sounds. It's very nice, but just imagine if you could use this interface, which is so easy to play and so fun to play with any other instrument that you can think of. That's why I really wanted to get one when I finally broke down and bought one on eBay. You can use other instruments to trigger the OP1 if you don't like the tiny little keyboard. But most of the modern day MIDI controllers use USB MIDI. They certainly aren't using these old ancient MIDI DIN cables. Now, you'd think that you'd be able to just use a converter cable, a USB to MIDI converter cable like this. So you need something in between. And ordinarily you would have to use a computer because you would have to use one of these cables going to your laptop and on the Omnichord. And then you'd have to use another USB cable coming from the OP1. That's why I researched it, and I don't think a lot of people are having the same problem. They just use their laptop and they don't worry about it like I do. In my opinion, it's just MIDI. It's nothing complicated. You shouldn't have to have a whole laptop in the middle. It's such a menial task. So I looked for a way to do it with no computer. And that's what I came up with. This little box, which has to be powered, by the way. In this case, I'm using just a little lipstick type external battery, but it also came with a power adapter. Boy, shut up. I'm on TV. Come over here.